Number 10. Miley Cyrus. Back in 2009, the singer went into a chain restaurant in New York City looking for a burger. After she ordered, the clerk asked for her name so he could call it out when the burger was ready, to which Miley allegedly became frustrated and said, "Are you serious? You don't recognize me? I am Miley Cyrus." While we're not exactly sure what kind of reaction she wanted from him, she was obviously upset that the clerk didn't fall to his knees or jump for joy. Being a celebrity obviously has its perks, so when famous people get treated like everyone else, they usually don't like it. But Miley has actually been called out for her behavior in public before. At the world premiere of Avengers Endgame in April of 2021, there was a viral video that went around which showed her physically pushing Liam Hemsworth away. While she was on the red carpet, he was getting annoyed at her for trying to get a funny picture licking his face. He then becomes frustrated and says, "Can't you just behave for once?" In response, she pushes him aside and poses for pictures all on her own. At the time, she was heavily criticized for embarrassing Liam at the premiere for his older brother's movie. Number 9. Gwyneth Paltrow. She's definitely one of the first celebrities that comes to mind when you think of the word arrogant. Even before she tried to become a lifestyle guru, she made it clear a long time ago just how out of touch she is with regular people. Gwyneth once made an entire population of working mothers angry when she said, "It's much harder for me. I think to have a regular job and to be a mom is not as, of course there are challenges, but it's not like being on set." Not only that, but in 2009 she was quoted saying, "I am who I am. I can't pretend to be someone who makes $25,000 a year." And let's not forget all the drama with the Goop Lab, which is just another way for Gwyneth to push her so-called healthy lifestyle onto regular people, where she posts must-have outfits that cost hundreds if not thousands of dollars and tries to frame it as a necessity. Her website was also heavily criticized for promoting questionable things like sprays and crystals that are meant to prevent mental manipulation by people, not to mention potentially dangerous supplements that were marketed to pregnant women. So it's no surprise that she actually earned the top spot in Star's 2013's Most Hated Celebrity list. Number 8. Justin Bieber. As the singer's fame grew, so did his attitude and his sense of entitlement. The once teenage heartthrob shocked the internet in 2013 while he was in Amsterdam visiting the hiding place of Anne Frank, which has since been turned into a museum. Justin opened himself up to ridicule and online anger when he wrote in the Anne Frank house guest book that it was truly inspiring to be able to come here and that Anne was a great girl. But he also said that he hoped she would have been a believer. The comments were insensitive at best, and it sounded like he believed Anne Frank would have been his devoted fan had she not died as a teenager in a concentration camp. Not only that, but he's also thought himself above the law on several occasions and is known for his atrocious behavior in public. Justin's been in trouble with the cops for things like graffiti spraying, egg throwing, and causing disturbances to his neighbors. Not only that, but in a 2013 Billboard interview, he said, "Don't say I'm not talented. If you haven't noticed, I wasn't made, I was found." Number 7. Adam Levine. Back in a 2014 interview with GQ magazine, the singer addressed his reputation as a bit of an egomaniac. He said, "I'm not arrogant, I'm cocky. It's different. Cocky is playful." But if you want to know what's really obnoxious, let's take a look at his tone-deaf comments about infidelity in 2009 when he said, "I have cheated, and you know what? There is nothing worse than the feeling of doing it." So apparently it's not hard for the people that are getting cheated on, only for the people that are cheating. And knowing what we know now, that quote hasn't aged well at all. Then in 2021, a TikTok went viral of him going off on a fan for coming on stage. The incident happened during a Maroon 5 performance while Adam was belting out their 2004 hit Sunday Morning. It was then that an overly eager fan suddenly rushed to the stage and reached for him. The video shows that security quickly grabbed the woman and pulled her away from Adam, who was seen cursing, shuddering, and shaking off the experience before getting right back into the music. Many fans were offended by his visceral reaction and suggested that he should really humble himself and remember that Maroon 5 is only successful because of the fans. Number 6. Vanessa Hudgens. The High School Musical star made some pretty controversial comments, complaining about having to quarantine during the start of the pandemic. During an Instagram live, Vanessa shocked her fans with her lack of compassion when she said, "Yeah, till July sounds like a bunch of BS. I'm sorry. It's a virus, I get it, I respect it, but at the same time, even if everybody gets it, yeah, people are gonna die, which is terrible, but like inevitable." Saying this in a seemingly smug way created a massive backlash, considering many people in her age group weren't listening to health officials at the time. Not only that, but she seemed very nonchalant about the fact that a lot of people were going to be affected. Naturally, her tone-deaf comments got her slammed across social media, with Olivia Wilde tweeting, "In 1,000 years, they'll dig up our society and find this precious digital moment and be like, okay, this is why they mysteriously disappeared from the earth." Vanessa, of course, tried to apologize and play the whole thing off as a misunderstanding, but it will forever go down as one of her most ignorant moments. Number 5. Catherine Zeta-Jones. Most people wouldn't think of the actress actress as arrogant, but her history says otherwise. Back in 1998, while attending a special screening of The Mask of Zorro, an 8-year-old girl reportedly went up to Catherine and asked her for some advice on acting. Catherine allegedly looked her up and down and said, "You're pretty enough, I suppose," before turning back to her conversation. In 2003, she was quoted saying, "$1 million isn't a lot of money for people like us." She said, "Some people collect art or lots of money. We collect houses, because if we have to look at something, we prefer the view." She went on to say, "The worst thing about having all these houses is that when I have an outfit and I think it's going to look great with a certain pair of shoes, I remember that they're in some place that I'm not, so that's why I have to buy duplicates." Then fast forward to 2018 during an interview with the UK Mirror, when she said, "I'm sick of being humble, I really am. So sorry I'm rich, so sorry I'm married to a movie star, so sorry I'm not so bad looking." So with a track record of saying things like that, it's no surprise that she ends up on this list. Number 4, Liam Payne. The 29-year-old went on Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast and became the butt of every joke on the internet for weeks. Not only did Liam come off as entitled, but fans were shocked when he claimed that his 2017 debut solo track, Strip That Down, outperformed everyone else in the band. He said, "First song, 1 billion streams. I think it outsold everybody within the band, and I was the last to go solo, and I never expected that." In fact, the whole interview came off as a bit of a humble brag. He also claimed that Simon Cowell created the boy band around him and said, "He started with my face and then worked around the rest. I was the honorary member of One Direction." He told me that story himself at his house. But fans totally lost it when he said, "I think it was well known within the band that I don't like taking crap. At a certain point, I made it very obvious. There was one moment when there was an argument backstage, and one member in particular threw me up a wall. So I said to him, if you don't remove those hands, there's a high likelihood you'll never use them again." Liam was obviously trying to build a tough guy persona, but his comments just came off as ridiculous. Number 3, Miles Teller. While being interviewed for Esquire in 2015, the actor was quoted saying, "I probably think I'm better looking than the public thinks I am. Maybe it's because I came from a small town, but I always did well for myself." Miles also had no issue insulting John Cusack by saying, "I guess we look alike. We did some similar movies. He wasn't traditionally good looking, he was offbeat, quirky, but confident. I get it, but I don't want his career." That last comment seemed a little bit unnecessary, but okay. Not only that, but Miles tried to distance himself from his fellow actors when he said, "I feel like a lot of actors in my generation are not proper actors. I want to break out of that whole group of actors in their early 20s and really start to put stuff down that lets you know I take this seriously." It's only been a few years since he landed his first major role. The actor has already developed something of reputation in the industry. In fact, he admitted to only taking his role in the movie Divergent for business reasons and said that the blockbuster film left him feeling dead inside. Number 2, Jay-Z. The rapper's arrogance was at an all-time high in 2013 when he was heavily criticized by social activist Harry Belafonte for what he said was a lack of social responsibility, basically saying he wasn't doing enough for the community. Jay-Z then responded in the worst way possible. He said, "I'm offended by that because first of all, and this is gonna sound arrogant, but my presence is charity, just who I am, just like Obama's is." He went on to say that Obama provides hope whether he does anything. The hope that he provides for a nation and outside of America is enough. So basically saying that he's doing the same thing just by being famous. Not only that, but in 2012, Jay-Z dissed Robert De Niro, who was apparently a big fan of his music. The actor reportedly called Jay-Z 6 times to work with him and received a grand total of 0 calls back. De Niro then verbally confronted Jay-Z about the situation and said, "It doesn't matter who you are. If someone calls you 6 times, you call them back. That is just rude." And coming in at number 1, Lea Michele. The actress starred as Rachel Berry on the hit TV series Glee from 2009 to 2015, but it was only after the show ended that her real on-set behavior was exposed. The controversial new documentary The Price of Glee features some bombshell revelations about Lea. Recently, the assistant to the executive director Garrett Greer described her as a narcissist and claimed that there was conflict whenever she felt her character wasn't getting enough attention. Davia Snell, a fellow Glee actor, also came out with his own horror story. He claimed that Lea Michele banned him from sitting with the main cast during their lunch break because apparently she didn't think that he belonged. He said, "I was there maybe 10 minutes and then I got pulled by someone on set. This person allegedly told him that someone specifically at the table didn't want him sitting there because they didn't feel like he belongs with the rest of the group." Davia asked a crew member if Lea was the culprit, and he says that they made a wincing face and then nodded. He went on to say, like, "Wow, I really just got pulled because of my status on the show. I never really experienced anything like that, even in a high school setting." exciting.
Coming in at number 10 is when she lashed out at an album review. After her album Cause I Love You was receiving a slew of positive reviews from fans and casual radio listeners, the publication Pitchfork published what many deemed to be a lukewarm review of the record. The reviewer gave the record a 6.5 out of 10 and called Lizzo, quote, clearly a talent, but it was not a positive enough review for Lizzo to feel satisfied with, as she later tweeted, people who review albums and don't make music themselves should be unemployed. Lizzo later deleted the tweet, but geez, doesn't she have enough money to brush off a 6.5 out of 10? That's not even that bad. Reviewing art is often a subjective opinion and doesn't always need to be taken personally. Lizzo was already all over every radio station and Spotify playlist, so why did she feel so strongly about a 6.5 on Pitchfork? At number 9, we're remembering that time Lizzo accused a Postmates driver of stealing her food. In September of 2019, Lizzo sent out a tweet that read, "Hey Postmates, this girl Tiffany W stole my food. She's lucky I don't fight anymore," along with a photo of the alleged delivery person. She deleted the tweet soon after, but not after many followers had already seen the claim. A company spokesperson later told the singer that the driver waited 5 minutes for Lizzo, but she had to move on when she did not appear to pick up her food. Lizzo then issued an apology to the driver with another tweet that read, "I apologize for putting that girl on blast. I understand I have a large following and that there were so many variables that could have put her in danger. I'm really going to need to be more responsible with my use of social media and check my petty and pride at the door." This instance is especially upsetting since food delivery couriers are severely underpaid while doing unpredictable, time-consuming, and labor-intensive work, so it's never a great look to publicly shame them the second your food doesn't arrive on time. At number 8 is the plagiarism claim she received. Back in October of 2019, songwriting brothers Justin and Jeremiah Raisin claimed that they attended a writing session with Lizzo alongside Jesse St. John and Yves Rothman in 2017. The group proceeded to write a song entitled Healthy, which included the now infamous TikTok trend line, "I just took a DNA test, turns out I'm 100% that bleep." Lizzo went on to feature this line in her hit single Truth Hurts, which prompted the Raisin brothers to accuse Lizzo of plagiarizing it without giving them the good grace of crediting them in the song. The only people credited for the song were Lizzo, producer Ricky Reed, producer Tele, and Jesse St. John. Everyone except the Raisins. Lizzo ended up denying these claims, but did give credit to Mina Lioness for sharing a meme that included the now famous line before the song was ever released. In August of 2018, Lioness tweeted, "If she thought I had the autonomy to truly challenge her and assert my rights, she would have given me my writer's credit already. We didn't have the same idea, it was my tweet that was taken from Twitter to put into the song. Now everybody believes that those were her words when in fact they were mine. My creativity, my wit, and my comedy." Lioness is now credited as a co-writer on the track, but the Raisins were left in the dust with no word from Lizzo since. At number 7 is Lizzo's ableist lyric controversy. In 2022, Lizzo released a song entitled Girls on her 4th studio album Special. The song received a ton of backlash from fans about a lyric that contained a work many deemed to be ableist. The offensive word in question came from the song's line, "Do you see this? I'm a spaz." The term spaz has often been used as slang or a slur to describe losing, quote, physical or emotional control, but has fallen increasingly out of fashion because of the word's origin from spastic, defined as a form of muscular weakness, otherwise known as spastic paralysis, which is a typical symptom of cerebral palsy. In an article by the blog OK Player, author Clementine Williams put into perspective why this word was used, saying, quote, "During the 90s era of hip-hop, spaz was not used to make fun of the disabled community, but as a descriptor for, quote, going wild. However, it's become pretty well known in society that this term is no longer acceptable to use, and for someone as popular as Lizzo, this seems like a big oversight for her and her team." Lizzo went on to release a new version of the song Girls and sent out a statement on Twitter bringing attention to why she was changing the word in the lyric. The tweet read, "Let me make this clear, I never want to promote derogatory language. As a black fat woman in America, I've had so many hurtful words used against me, so I understand the power words can have, whether intentionally or in my case, unintentionally. This is the result of me listening and taking action. As an influential artist, I'm dedicated to being part of the change I've been wanting to see in the world." And this was the correct reaction to such claims. She really couldn't have handled the situation any better. But her current allegations don't have as easy a fix as changing a word in the lyric, so it'll be interesting to see how she handles the claims of her hostile work environment. At number 6 is when Lizzo openly said some pretty inappropriate comments about BTS. In a CBS interview where Lizzo listens to the K-pop band's music for the first time, she said she would collaborate with the boys, but her comments took an unnecessarily risque turn when she mentioned she wouldn't be able to focus on making music because she wouldn't be able to keep her hands off of them. She said this in an obviously more graphic way, and although it sounds like she was trying to make a joke of some sort, people did not find it funny at all. Many fans of BTS rightfully criticized Lizzo for being extremely disrespectful. This isn't the first time Lizzo made inappropriate comments about other artists. In fact, during an interview on Kiss Breakfast with Tom and Daisy, Lizzo made similar remarks about Harry Styles, where she joked that she and him had slept together. As well, at a concert in Miami, she invited Styles to come up on stage with her to sing her song Juice, and as they sang together, Lizzo seemingly tried to grab Styles' butt. He smiled along and even tried to grab back at her, but fans still accused Lizzo of sexualizing the singer without his consent. Lizzo has not made any public comment about either of these situations, especially after the recent allegations coming out about her. This situation has an entirely new air of disgust to it. Thinking that you can just say and do whatever you want to people without receiving any sort of consequence is peak mean girl behavior. Our halfway point concerns the negative comments she made about Taylor Swift. In an Instagram live, Lizzo spoke to her 13.5 million followers, praising Beyonce's concert in Warsaw, calling her one of the best out there. And then she proceeded to say, the most popular person today ain't even comparable to what Beyonce is doing. And many of Taylor Swift's fans believe it was aimed at her due to the singer recently making record-breaking sales for her Eras tour and currently dominating the charts. Lizzo never mentioned Swift by name, but that didn't stop fans from supporting Swift on a TikTok, sharing the clip of Lizzo's live, saying that there was no reason for Lizzo to shade her or even attempt to compare the two. One person commented, Beyonce and Taylor's shows are both phenomenal and they're some of the best performers of our time. Comparing them is so icky. To add to this, during Beyonce's show in Boston on Tuesday, she noticeably failed to mention Lizzo's names in the lyrics of Break My Soul, despite having done so repeatedly in the past. How awkward. Our number 4 spot goes to when a man trampled a woman at one of her shows and she still invited him on stage to sing with her. In a tweet, user Ola's Truth wrote, I defended Lizzo from racism, misogyny, and fat phobia in the past, and I hesitated to discuss my personal experience with her and her team at a concert. She goes on to recount an experience she had during a concert in 2017 when a man trampled over her while she was in a wheelchair, Lizzo's dancers having to force him off of her. The man was wearing platform heels and stepped on not only her wheelchair but also her legs, causing injury to Ola. Even after this horrific situation, Lizzo still proceeded to invite the specific man on stage to sing with her. Afterwards, Lizzo DM'd the woman and offered a half-hearted apology where she claimed to have not seen the man, as well as promising meet and greet tickets to her next show in DC, which never came to fruition. On Twitter, Ola wrote, no one should be surprised that Lizzo did this in regards to the recent lawsuit that just came out. Our number 3 spot concerns the director who dropped out of her documentary. Oscar-nominated filmmaker Sophia Nali Allison says she dropped out as director of Lizzo's documentary in 2019 after facing mistreatment from her. In an Instagram story posted earlier this week, Allison states, quote, in 2019 I traveled a bit with Lizzo to be a director of her documentary. I walked away after about 2 weeks. I was treated with such disrespect by her. I witnessed how arrogant, self-centered, and unkind she is. I was gaslit and deeply hurt. Reading these reports makes me realize how dangerous of a situation this is. This is the kind of power that happens all too often. Allison refrained from mentioning what exactly Lizzo's behavior entailed during their time working together, but it's clear that enough happened to deeply affect her. Our runner-up is Lizzo's creative director speaking out. After the lawsuit from former dancers went public, more of Lizzo's former employees are speaking out in support of them. In fact, just hours after the women came forward with allegations, Lizzo's former creative director and dancer Courtney Hollenquest claimed that they experienced similar treatment. In an Instagram story posted on Tuesday, Hollenquest wrote, for clarification, I'm not a part of the lawsuit, but this was very much my experience in my time there. Big shout out to the dancers who had the courage to bring this to light. Soon after, Wilson shared a screenshot of Hollenquest's statement on her Instagram story where she said she was, quote, echoing everything that was already said. Wilson went on to say, I haven't been part of that world around 3 years for a reason. I very much applaud dancers' courage to bring this to light, and I grieve for parts of my own experience. I'd appreciate space to understand my feelings, she concluded. To which Hollenquest replied back to the creative director saying, my sister forever, only a few know what we've been through. Love you, Quinn. Our number 1 spot is the lawsuit allegations. According to court docs obtained by ET, Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez, all former dancers of Lizzo, claimed that they faced sexual, religious, and racial harassment, disability discrimination, and false imprisonment, along other allegations. The women's attorney Ron Zambrano said, the stunning nature of how Lizzo and her management team treated their performers seems to go against everything Lizzo stands for publicly, while privately she weight shames her dancers and demeans them in ways that are not only illegal but absolutely demoralizing. In a press release on Tuesday, the suit alleges that Lizzo pressured one of them to touch a nude performer in an Amsterdam club and subjected the group to an excruciating audition that was complete with false accusations that they were drinking on the job. They also claimed that they were subjected to attempts of religious indoctrination, ridiculing those who have had premarital sex. The most strange allegation to hear pertains to Lizzo reportedly calling attention to one dancer's weight gain and later berating and firing that dancer, especially since Lizzo was so well known for embracing body positivity and celebrating her own physique.
Coming in at number 10, we have Hailey Bieber. If you've been on the internet lately, you've probably seen the drama surrounding Hailey bashing Selena on social media. It seemed to have started when fans assumed that a TikTok posted by Hailey was about Selena. The TikTok, which has now been deleted, features Hailey and her friends lip syncing to a sound which says, I'm not saying she deserved it, but God's timing is always right. Fans started to assume that this was in reference to Selena being body shamed over her vacation photos. After being questioned all over the internet, Hailey responds by saying, I never comment on this type of thing, but we were just having a girls' night, and we just did a random TikTok sound for fun. It's not directed at anyone. Even Selena joins in to calm her fans by saying, it's okay, I don't let these things get me down. Be nice to everybody. Even if that time was just a reach and a speculation, the more recent Hailey drama is hard to dismiss. After Selena posted a clip mentioning how she had over-laminated her eyebrows, Kylie Jenner posted a photo of herself saying this was an accident over her own eyebrows. It only gets worse when Kylie shares a screenshot from a FaceTime with Hailey only showing their eyebrows. Later in the day, fans realized Selena commented on an old photo of Hailey where she seems to be gagging at the mention of Taylor Swift's name. Selena wrote, "So sorry, my best friend continues to be one of the best in the game." With all the hatred coming from Hailey over the internet, it seems to have been enough to push Selena off social media for a while. The singer announced on TikTok saying, "I'm gonna be taking a second from social media because this is all a little silly. I'm 30, I'm too old for this." Hailey Bieber has really been showing her true colors lately and has yet to comment on any of the alleged bullying. But to her fans, her silence is definitely a statement in itself. Coming in at number 9, Lea Michele. The former Glee star Lea has sparked rumors for years of being an alleged mean girl. She began getting some heat over the past couple of years for being mean-spirited on the set of Glee, what she did later apologize for, but it didn't seem to end there. Her former co-star Heather Morris started speaking up back in 2021 as to why it took so long to come forward with these allegations. She says, "We absolutely could have stepped up and gone to Fox executives and said how we felt about the situation, but nobody really did. So now we're living in a culture where it's more accepted to go and do things like that, whereas I think people were just a little scared." These allegations against Lea first started to come out in 2020 when Samantha Ware, who also played a role in Glee, spoke out against her on Twitter. She expresses how awful Lea made her time on the Glee set, even saying that her microaggressions made her question her whole career in Hollywood. When the tweet went viral, Lea's partnership with the food service HelloFresh decided to end their contract. This tweet ended up inspiring other Glee stars to come forward with their feelings about Lea. Heather wrote on Twitter saying, "Hate is a disease in America that we are trying to cure, but I would never wish for that hate to spread to someone else." With that being said, was she unpleasant to work with? Very much so. For Lea to treat others with disrespect that she did for so long, I believe she should be called out. An extra for the show took this opportunity to come forward as well, saying that Lea referred to her and other extras as cockroaches. She even went as far to tell them not to look at her while the cameras were rolling. Lea has never denied the allegations, but instead wrote an apology on Instagram saying, "While I don't remember ever making this specific statement, that's really not the point. What matters is that I clearly acted in ways which hurt other people. Though I'm sure her fellow co-stars would like a little bit more of an apology, at least it's something." And at number 8, we have Madonna. Known for being an absolute icon in the pop industry, as well as not believing in cancel culture, her dry sense of humor may have gotten her into trouble in the past. Back in 2019, Madonna made an appearance on the Graham Norton show, and there was definitely a few awkward moments. Fans began to criticize the singer for the way she spoke to Sir Ian McKellen, and for the fact that she seemed to forget that they'd already met before. Ian ended up joking that this is why Madonna wasn't invited to his birthday party. Then, near the end, it seems she mocks his title of Sir. Another uncomfortable moment is when Madonna asks, "What do you do?" appearing to not know he's an actor, when she was just asking what he does in his new stage show. Fans did not react well, taking to Twitter to discuss how they felt the interview went. One Twitter user wrote, "The rudeness of Madonna to Sir Ian McKellen is making me so mad." And another wrote, "This show is so cringe. The way Madonna is talking to and looking at Sir Ian McKellen is a disgrace. She's even noticeably sitting away from him. Horrible woman." All in all, I have to say the whole segment is very awkward to watch. Number 7, Ellen DeGeneres. From celebrities, her own staff, and even to guests on her show, Ellen has received a lot of backlash over the past couple of years, with even a Twitter trend calling her one of the meanest people alive. The stories really started to pop off after the comedian Kevin Porter posted on his Twitter saying, "Right now, all we need is a little kindness. You know, like Ellen DeGeneres always talks about. Respond to this with the most insane stories you've heard about Ellen being mean, and I'll match everyone with $2 to the LA Food Bank." This really brought some horrible stories to light, even with some having photographic evidence. One Twitter user wrote, "When I was 15, Ellen was doing a contest of fans making a bust of her and sending it in. I worked so hard on this and even gave her a letter. Weeks later, she used this as a prop in her game and gave it away to a random person with $500 at the bottom." A former staff member even came forward explaining how Ellen told them all how she has a sensitive nose, making everyone chew a piece of gum before ever talking to her, even sending those home she thought smelled bad. With her bad attitude really coming to light, YouTuber Nikki from Nikki Tutorials shared what she experienced was like when coming onto the Ellen show. Without going into too much detail, she said, "Let's just say there's a huge difference between between this show and Ellen DeGeneres. I'm saying that in favor of the show. Dakota Johnson, Mark Ruffalo, Jamila Jamil, and many others have since shared their stories, and I have to say, it doesn't look good for Ellen, who is known to preach kindness. Number 6. Katherine Heigl. After being labeled difficult to work with, her career took a bit of a dip. Katherine originally made a big name for herself for her role on the show Grey's Anatomy, but after involving herself in some sticky situations with the network, it seems like she may have just angered the wrong people. Apparently having some strong views on her scripts, the writers weren't happy, calling this an ungrateful slap in the face, as they felt that they were the ones to get her that far in the first place. Grey's Anatomy creator slammed Katherine for her unkind comments, telling in an interview, "In some level it stung, and on some level I was not surprised. When people show you who they are, believe them." Her history of dissing scripts and ideas didn't end there though. Katherine ended up talking to Vanity Fair in 2008 about her movie Knocked Up. She went on to describe it as sexist and bashing on the way the women were presented in the film. When the news came out about how she really felt about her role, her co-star Seth Rogen was disappointed. He told The Hollywood Reporter, "People seemed to like it. We were funny together, I was having a really good time. And then I heard afterward that she didn't like it. I think when that happens, your trust feels somewhat betrayed." After this, more reports seemed to come out of Katherine being a bit of a diva. A source came forward describing how it would be commonplace for her to cost you time every day. From wardrobe issues to questioning the scripts, it sounds like Katherine might just have to have a problem every day. Number 5. Christina Aguilera. Though an incredible singer and with a huge fan base, Christina maybe isn't as nice behind the scenes. With many fans who adore the coach on the show The Voice, there seem to be plenty that just can't stand her. The boy band The Wanted claimed that Christina was very cold to them after they performed on the competition show. One band member told The Hollywood Reporter how scary he thought she was, saying, "She just sat there and didn't speak to us. She was quite rude." After a source came forward saying that nothing negative happened between the boys and Christina, the band ended up apologizing, sort of. They said, "We shouldn't have said it, to be honest with you. We just think manners cost nothing. You know what I mean?" Apparently being rude isn't the only thing she has been reported being, but also aggressive. After collaborating on Lady Marmalade for the Moulin Rouge soundtrack, singer Pink claims that there was a bit of a fight over who would sing the high notes on the track. Pink recalls that this led to Christina trying to punch her in the club. Pink said when talking about the event, "I was like, what is happening right now? What are you doing? What is even happening?" When asked about this, Christina says, "I seem to have a different memory of that night. We were at the club when we played Spin the Bottle, and I have a love memory." Luckily since then, the two seem to have made amends. Number 4. Katy Perry. The pop star who is said to love her fans deeply may have a different relationship with her fellow celebrities. Katy Perry bashed Britney Spears twice for her head-shaving mental breakdown, and fans weren't loving it. In an interview, Katy discusses her new hair and says, "It's the last color in the spectrum that I can do. I've done all of them and the only thing left to do is shave my head, which I'm really saving for my public breakdown." In another interview, when asked about how she is going to be taking a break from music, she says, "That's called taking care of your mental health. It's great. I haven't shaved my head yet." Her attempt at a joke resulted in Katy looking like a mean girl, especially to someone who she even once collabed with in the past. This sparked such backlash that angry fans created the hashtag Katy Perry is over party, which quickly trended on Twitter. One Twitter user wrote, "I lost all my respect for Katy." Well, the little respect I did have for her. Though it appears she has yet to comment, many fear Katy has shown her true, insensitive colors. Number 3. Ariana Grande. According to various news outlets, Ariana Grande can definitely be a diva sometimes, and even to her fans. But on July 4th, 2015, the singer really did something that made her fans wonder if she really just is a mean girl after all. Ariana stated, "I hate Americans. I hate America," while in a donut shop in California. She then went on to lick the donuts without buying any of them. Despite public apologies for this extreme behavior, she was still shut out from performing at the White House event. The singer allegedly completely up and left her meet and greet because she wasn't loving how the photos were coming out. A source revealed that when the star went into the elevator, she overheard her wishing her fans at the event would pass away. Pretty bad if true, so I'm just going to hope it's not. And at number 2, we have Adam Levine. Adam Levine hasn't always been the family man we see these days. He also, for a time, wasn't so loved by his fans. A user on social media asked the question, "Who are the biggest jerks in music?" To which one user wrote back saying Adam Levine, claiming the singer has made rude comments about fans and even his current girlfriend at the time. Allegedly, Adam told a fan that he didn't give autographs to ugly chicks. Though this can't be confirmed, many other commenters agreed that it sounds like something he would say. This comes after an interview interview where Adam claimed that dating a model was one of the perks of being a rock star. The heat on Adam has died down. Since becoming all about his kids, many fans believed he has finally grown up with his ways. And at number 1, we have Tobey Maguire. The Superman star Tobey Maguire has become famous in a different way, and that's how rude he is to his fans. Reportedly, the actor refuses to sign anything for anyone, even children who idolize the Spider-Man star. The Spider-Man star Tobey Maguire has become famous in a different way, and that's how rude he is to his fans. Reportedly, the actor refuses to sign anything for anyone, even children who idolize the Spider-Man legend. Back in 2007, the star allegedly slapped a camera out of a fan's hand who was asking for a photo. Because of his bad rep with signatures, the Autograph Collector magazine has named him the worst signer of the year. I mean, after knowing how much he hates signatures, I think that if I saw Tobey on the street, I would just steer clear. Number 10, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift and Hailey Bieber didn't really have any bad blood between them until recently. The social media drama happened when a video resurfaced on social media showing Hailey and the rapper Method Man during an episode of Drop the Mic. In the clip, Hailey was seen rolling her eyes and sticking her tongue out when Method Man said, "Hollywood's top stars face off in a one-on-one battle," full of the meanest lyrics about celebrities since Taylor Swift's last album. The video even made it to Selena Gomez's For You page, unfortunately for Hailey. Selena quickly came to defend her friend Taylor and commented, "So sorry, my best friend is and continues to be one of the best in the game." This left fans wondering if maybe there was more to the drama that happened before this that led to her gagging over Taylor. Though the two were never necessarily close, it doesn't seem like there was any hatred beforehand. Hailey even shared her positive feedback online about the film Cats, which Taylor starred in, saying, "My Christmas gift from the universe is the release of the Cats movie." Rumors have also been surfacing as to if this could be an extension of the feud between Taylor and Justin Bieber, not only from the history between Justin and her best friend Selena, but also because of his close relationship with his manager, Scooter Braun, who is also the man that bought all of her music catalog and who she claims bullied her alongside Justin. Not only that, but Hailey has also liked a screenshot of Taylor with the caption, "Would you smack her for $835 billion?" Someone responded, "I'd smack her for a sweet tea from McDonald's," which she did like. Though Taylor has never publicly said anything bad about Hailey, many assume it is pretty tense between the two, considering the pretty public shade. Number 9, Rhode. Hailey Bieber found herself in some pretty hot water after being sued by a brand which accused her of trying to buy their name Rhode from them 4 years ago. When the model launched her skincare brand, she named it Rhode, which is the name of the fashion brand, resulting in her getting hit with a trademark infringement lawsuit. The owners of Rhode fashion line came out with a statement saying, "Today we were forced to file a lawsuit against Hailey Bieber and her new skincare line, which was launched last week and that is using the brand Rhode." They went on to say, "We didn't want to file this lawsuit, but we had to in order to protect our business." Even though the founders stressed how much they loved Hailey and wished her only success, they were upset that she chose this name out of all other choices that she could have had. They went on to say, "Hailey could choose any brand for her skincare line. We only have the brand name Rhode that we've built. That's why we didn't sell out our brand when she asked for it 4 years ago." The 9-year-old Rhode fashion was nervous about the confusion on the market, and when asked why they decided to go through with the lawsuit, they revealed, "We have real concerns for the future. It's disappointing to me that a female entrepreneur of whom we've been fans of for a long time is trying to smother what we've built." It was revealed though that Hailey owns the trademark for skincare and they hold it for fashion, so it looks like she's in the clear. But it definitely is a bit of a shady move to use the name even though they refused to sell it in the first place. Number 8, the TikToker. Another shady moment happened when a TikToker encountered Hailey while working a shift as a host in an upscale restaurant. In a video that now went viral, the TikToker explains what it was like to meet Hailey, and it's not great. She claimed Hailey was rude, saying, "This is going to be controversial. I've met Hailey a handful of times and every time she was not nice. I really want to like her, but I have to give her a 3.5 out of 10. Hailey, who is known to be a big TikTok lover, saw the video and quickly commented back. She wrote, "I just came across this video and wanted to say I'm so sorry if I've ever given you bad vibes or a bad attitude. That was never my intention." Julia appeared to accept the apology, calling her the accountability queen. Later, Hailey even explained just about how this video made her feel, saying, "When I saw her video, I was so upset. There's never an excuse for being rude. I felt bad that this was her experience with me, and it made me kind of frustrated because you never know what someone's going through." Fans seem to accept this apology, with many collectively writing, "At least she said sorry." Number 7, Shawn Mendes. Shawn and Hailey had a brief relationship right before marrying Justin Bieber. The whole thing seems a little bit shady, with some fans asking if she was just waiting for Justin to be single again, or if the fling was just a publicity stunt. Shawn more or less has admitted admitted that they were involved in the past, but they both refused to put a label on their past relationship. Sean said in an interview with Rolling Stone, "I don't even want to put a title on it. I think it was more of a zone of limbo." After being seen holding hands during Halloween and then cuddling over the holidays, it seems like they were keeping things pretty casual due to the distance. The two ended up being each other's date to the Met Gala in May, but by June, Hailey was back with Justin and engaged just a month later. At the time, Sean claims that he wasn't bitter, saying to Patrick Doyle from the Rolling Stone, "I get it, you know, and I'm happy for them. But could this whole thing just be a PR move?" Considering how fast it was and how quickly she married Justin, makes fans believe it absolutely was. But if it wasn't, it was still a pretty quick timeline from being spotted with Sean to being full-on married to Justin. Number 6, Justin Bieber. Hailey and Justin have been married for a few years now, but that doesn't save him from being shaded. Hailey has been pretty open about the difficulties of marriage and explains that he hasn't always been the easiest partner, especially in the beginning. During an episode of In Good Faith, the podcast, Hailey revealed how it was her mom who persuaded her to stay with Justin, which I'm sure would be awkward to hear as her husband. She shared at the time saying, "I remember I called her a few different times. One particular time when we were in Brooklyn and I was calling her, I was crying. And I was like, I can't do it. There's no way that I'm going to be able to do this if it's going to be like this forever." She went on to say when discussing her mom's response, she was so calm and she was like, "It's going to pass and you're going to be fine. He's going to be healthy." A few fans on Twitter have begun accusing Justin and Hailey of having a sort of mother and son relationship, where Hailey cares for Justin at times, kind of like a mother. The recent time that really got TikTok and Twitter users talking was a clip that emerged of Hailey comforting Justin at this year's Coachella. Though many thought the moment was sweet, others were thinking that Justin was getting upset and didn't want to be there, and that maybe Hailey liked to be a little bit like a caregiver. Maybe not so bluntly shady, but if intentional, could this be a way of her putting him down to make herself look better? This one is tough though. What do you guys think? Number 5, the store model. In the midst of the drama with Selena that took over every social media platform, more videos started emerging of Hailey's supposed mean girl side. One video in particular popped up showing Hailey when she was younger, shaming a model while in a clothing store with her friend. The video shows her pointing at the photo of the model and saying, "This girl thinks she's cool, but because she's not mad, right? But little did she know, did you punch someone?" Going on to say, "Do you have the proper makeup people because you have lipstick on your teeth? And this ad is in a store. No way." The video was uploaded by an account called Cancel Hailey Bieber. They captioned the video with, "I thought Hailey supported women though." This led many TikTok users to label Hailey as crazy, with one user writing, "Oh my god, another one to my collection. She's crazy." Others have also been trying to figure out who the model is, with some speculating that it could be Selena, or that she did this because she thought the woman looked like Selena. When the video made its way to Twitter, one user wrote, "She's so ugly inside and out." Another added, "Can we cancel Hailey Bieber yet?" Number 4, the high school bully. Though the alleged victim isn't necessarily a celebrity, they have gained a lot of attention online lately for claiming that Hailey was their high school bully. A TikTok user named Kimona Elizabeth posted on her account that reveals Hailey was their bully while they were in high school together. She did receive many rude comments that she was lying or looking for attention during the height of the Hailey drama, but she did seem pretty serious when she defended her claims in another video. Though this hasn't been confirmed or denied completely yet, the rumor is out there and it's not a good look. Number 3, nepotism. During an episode on Hailey Bieber's YouTube series, Who's in My Bathroom, Gwyneth shared her opinions on the struggles of being a nepotism baby. She did acknowledge that people with famous parents do have it better in the industry, but also claims that these people will have to work twice as hard as the people with no connections. She said, "I really do feel that once your foot is in the door, which you unfairly got in, then you have to work twice as hard and be twice as good because people are already ready to pull you down. And you say you don't belong here or you're only here because of your mom or dad." This is something that Hailey seemed to agree with, which is a bit of a slap in the face to other celebrities who had zero help at all with getting to where they are today. One viewer commented, "Gwyneth saying you need to work twice as hard as a nepo kid isn't true. The people without connections have to work 10 times as hard, not even twice as hard." Another added, "Oh, give me a break with the twice as hard bit. If you're fortunate enough to be born with that Wonka golden ticket, that's fine." Going on to say, "Just accept the gift and enjoy the huge head start." Number 2, the model agency. Hailey Bieber reportedly was pretty shady towards a fellow model from her agency. The model came forward on TikTok describing the time she had when both Hailey and her were signed to the same modeling agency as teenagers. She recalls by saying, "She was so cold to me. She treated me like trash. It was just the vibe she gave off. She really thought she was better than everyone in the room. And I'm like, girl, we're both signed to the same agency." She went on to say, "I don't believe that celebrities owe anybody anything, but you know, it's one of those moments where you shouldn't meet up with the people you look up to or who you idolize." And at number 1, of course, we have Selena Gomez. Definitely the biggest shady moment was, of course, towards Selena Selena. Ever since Justin and Hailey's marriage in 2018, the media has pitted these two against each other, which they have both attempted to shut down until recently with the eyebrow drama. In a now deleted post, Selena posted a video on TikTok sharing that she laminated her eyebrows a little bit too much. Within a few hours, Kylie Jenner posted a selfie on her Instagram story with the caption, "This was an accident." Clearly, fans in the media were convinced she was throwing shade at Selena, considering the text was placed right over her eyebrows. She then went on to post a screenshot of a FaceTime between her and Hailey, which was zoomed in on both their eyebrows. This spiraled all over social media, with most fans coming to the support of Selena. With the backlash Hailey was receiving from Selena fans, she actually turned to the star to help her out with the outrage. Selena spoke out in her defense, essentially telling her fans to leave Hailey alone. Hailey then came out with a statement on her Instagram which said, "I want to thank Selena for speaking out, as she and I have been discussing the last few weeks to move past this ongoing narrative between her and I." Another situation that many fans believe was shady of Hailey was the idea that she and Selena were both with Justin at the same time without Selena knowing it. Hailey has always denied it, but the timeline is definitely close. She has admitted that she is aware of how it looks and the timing of things, but has insisted that she waited. The timeline goes that Justin and Selena were hanging out a lot in the late 2017 and seemed to get back together early 2018, until they looked to abruptly break it off. Not long after, Hailey came into the picture and they got married. After getting married, Hailey said in an interview how she often struggled and was ridden with guilt during the first few months of their marriage. This led some fans to believe it was because she stole Justin from Selena. These two definitely have an interesting and complicated relationship in the eyes of the media.
Starting us off at number 10, we have Kendall Jenner. In an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kendall Jenner got real about people thinking she's a mean girl. During a confessional, she opened up about the misconceptions she's heard about herself. Kendall shared how it's upsetting when someone questions her character, adding that if only people knew her, they would see that she's not mean at all. But things took a turn when Kendall appeared in a TikTok video with her friends Hailey Bieber and Justin Sky. The trio lip-synced to an audio that seemed to throw shade at a certain someone, and viewers called them out for this. This just seemed to fuel the perception that Kendall is a mean girl. As if that wasn't enough, an old video of Kendall belittling Kylie on the show Life of Kylie resurfaced online. In this clip, Kendall can be seen criticizing Kylie's appearance in front of her friends. People took issue with her comments and called her out for her mean behavior. However, this isn't the first time tension between Kendall and Kylie had been captured on their reality shows. Kylie has referred to Kendall as mean before and admitted that they wouldn't be friends if they weren't sisters. So it looks like despite Kendall's efforts to address the mean girl perception, these incidents seem to show otherwise. Yikes. Next at number 9, we have Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is thought by many to be the ultimate diva, and she has a reputation for being a bit mean and demanding. One gem that she's been quoted for is when she straight up said, "I don't do stairs" during a concert rehearsal. Yeah, seriously. It's stories like these that make the public see her as over the top and diva-like. And let's not forget when she claimed she didn't know certain successful artists like J-Lo and Ariana Grande, as if she's been living in her own superstar bubble. But it's not just her outrageous quotes that contribute to her mean reputation. Mariah has been known to treat her staff poorly and act unprofessionally. Apparently, she once demanded 20 whole kittens and 100 white doves for a performance. Who needs that many animals? She also insists on having her own personal lighting team travel with her. Talk about diva demands. There are also stories of her throwing tantrums, showing up late for interviews, and canceling events at last minute. It's no wonder why people think she's difficult to work with. Many fans think that maybe all of that fame has gone to her head. Next at number 8, we have Ellen DeGeneres. Once a beloved talk show host with a global fan base, Ellen DeGeneres saw her reputation crumble when revelations surfaced about her ruthless treatment of employees off camera, painting her as a genuinely mean-spirited person. Ironically, her motto of "be kind" backfired spectacularly as former employees began to step forward, sharing their stories of horror with Ellen. In a BuzzFeed article, she was labeled a bully, accused of creating a toxic work environment by one current and 10 former employees who bravely spoke out anonymously. These individuals confirmed what had previously been mere rumors, shedding light on Ellen's demanding behavior. According to one TV writer, Ellen required anyone who wished to speak with her at work to chew gum from a bowl outside her office, and she would send staff members home to shower if she felt they smelled bad. While the accusations have not impacted her financial status, Ellen's image has been irreparably tarnished, and it's almost impossible to find supporters of her on the internet today. Next at number Number 7 is Hailey Bieber. When it comes to celebrities being mean in real life, Hailey Bieber's situation takes an interesting twist. It all started with Selena Gomez sharing a TikTok video about her eyebrow lamination gone wrong. She jokingly admitted that her brows didn't turn out as planned when trying to replicate Bella Hadid's iconic look. Then Kylie Jenner jumped in and posted an Instagram story with the text, "This was an accident," overlaying her own eyebrows. But here's the kicker. In the next slide, Jenner shared a close-up pic of Hailey Bieber's brows, seemingly from a FaceTime call where they both showed off their eyebrows. Fans immediately thought they were taking a jab at Selena. Jenner later denied any shade towards Selena, saying fans were blowing things out of proportion. But the eyebrow picture's timing and overall vibe were pretty suspicious to fans. Things have just seemed to have gotten worse from this point, and now it seems Hailey might never be able to shake off the mean girl label. And number 6 is Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence may not be as nice to her fans as one would expect. In a candid conversation with comedian Adam Sandler during Variety's Actors on Actors series in 2017, they discussed how they handle the attention from fans. While Adam described Jennifer as famously approachable, she disagreed and dropped a bombshell. According to her, once she steps into a public place, she becomes incredibly rude, even turning into a huge a-hole, as she puts it in her own colorful language. Jennifer doesn't hesitate to shut down fans who approach her for a selfie, and if you happen to spot her in a restaurant while she's trying to enjoy her meal, don't be surprised if she shoots you a sour look and waves you off, claiming she's not working that day. Now, it's worth mentioning that this info is based on Jennifer Lawrence's own words, and it's possible that she was just shedding light on the challenges of dealing with fame rather than genuinely being mean. But it's understandable that Jennifer has chosen to adopt a guarded and less friendly attitude in public. So if you ever run into Jennifer Lawrence, don't expect a warm and fuzzy interaction. Next, at number 5, we have Lea Michele. Lea Michele, the actress who portrayed the most arrogant character on Glee, is facing a significant backlash as her reputation as one of the meanest celebrities in Hollywood comes to light. Despite Glee contributing to her rise in fame, it appears that her mistreatment of the cast and crew on set has caught up with her. Several individuals, including actress Samantha Ware, have spoken out against Michelle's behavior, with Ware recounting instances of the silent treatment, stare downs, looks, comments under her breath, and weird passive aggressiveness she experienced after her first performance. Following Samantha's revelation, numerous co-stars, film crew members, and staff members took to social media to share their own stories about Michelle's diva-like behavior. There were even reports suggesting that she only communicated through her assistant and completely ignored the presence of her co-stars. Although Michelle issued an apology, her past actions continue to be remembered, and when it was announced that she would replace actress Beanie Feldstein in the Broadway production of Funny Girl, fans expressed their outrage, with some even calling for a boycott. At number 4, we have Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams, the host of The Wendy Williams Show for a whopping 14 years, definitely didn't hold back when it came to her on-air antics. Let's just say she didn't need anyone to call her out for being rude, because she did it all on her own. She once downplayed actor Terry Crews's bravery for speaking out about his essay, basically saying it wasn't a big deal since he was a big man. And remember that cringe-worthy moment when she asked young actor Marcus Scribner about his sex life live on the show? Awkward doesn't even begin to cover it, especially with his dad right there on set. Poor Marcus looked uncomfortable and did his best to dodge the question. And let's not forget the time she made fun of Ariana Grande's appearance, claiming that because she's petite, she doesn't look like a woman. While most of us know body shaming is never okay, it's clear that she never hesitated to say whatever mean thoughts popped into her head. And believe me, these examples are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Wendy's mean streak. At number 3, we have Katy Perry. Katy Perry has been a music icon for over a decade now, but her career seems to have gone steeply downhill after she became a judge on American Idol. In fact, Katy recently made a surprising announcement on social media, stating that she wants to quit the popular singing competition show. She expressed concerns about being portrayed as a nasty judge due to the editing done by the show's producers. This decision comes amidst a wave of controversy and scandal surrounding Katy during the current season of American Idol, and it seems like it's all becoming too overwhelming for her. In one notable incident from the recent season, Katie had an interesting reaction when a contestant, ever after her audition, Sarah announced her decision to return to California and be with her family, claiming that she wasn't cut out for show business. Later on, Sarah took to TikTok to call Katie out for the joke, which she felt was both mom-shaming and inappropriate. And let's not forget the time she stole a contestant's first kiss. Gross. At number 2, we have Jennifer Lopez. Though there are many instances of JLo being accused of being mean, including talking down to her husband Ben Affleck, let's talk about one from back in 2014 first. Back in 2014, Jennifer Lopez had an awkward moment on American Idol when one of her biggest fans, Ronald Reed, broke down in tears after being rejected. Ronald was not only determined to win American Idol, but also had a mission to fight poverty and make the world a better place. Jennifer had to be honest with him and told Ronald that his voice wasn't strong enough. Keith Urban stepped in to soften the blow and reassured Ronald that he was sweet, while Reed desperately searched for his confidence after Jennifer made fun of his lack of melody. And of course, another rumor Jennifer would definitely try to deny is how controlling she has been said to be. Several sources have spoken up about the state of Jennifer and Ben Affleck's marriage, mentioning numerous things that annoy her about him. In addition to his smoking habit, it appears Ben might have a cleanliness problem as well. The source shared Ben doesn't clean up after himself, which irritates Jennifer. The source also criticized Jennifer's approach to nagging her husband, saying she's been known to yell at him and point her finger. It makes people wonder if she mistakes him for a dog. And finally, at number 1, we have Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber has been in the industry since a very young age, and unfortunately, it seems like this might have done some damage to him. From spitting on fans to feuding with neighbors, it seems there are way more negative stories about Justin than positive ones. However, one thing fans recently started to pick up on is Justin being rude to his wife, Haley. He's been caught on live streams putting her down, and there are even clips of him slamming the car door in her face. One clip shows him leaving her behind in a crowd of paparazzi while he gets away on a skateboard. And that particular clip ends with Haley falling flat on her face while trying to chase after him. Yikes. Another thing fans noticed was how he didn't defend his wife during her feud with Selena Gomez. So not only does he not seem like the nicest guy, but he might be a bad husband as well.
Number 10, Rachel Ray. The celebrity cook has a reputation for being a meanie. Many fans in her audience have reported that before filming her show, she often avoids speaking to them and appears cold and disinterested, and just looks like she would rather be somewhere else. But it's not just her fans. In fact, several other famous chefs have publicly come out against her, saying that they straight up don't like her, including Martha Stewart and the late Anthony Bourdain. Even members of Ray's own family have turned against her. In 2013, scandal broke out after her aunt Geraldine tragically passed away while staying at Ray's house, but neither Ray nor her husband John showed up at the funeral. Instead, she was allegedly tweeting about cats, recipes, and TV shows, which led her cousin Gina Mesnick to speak out against her. She said, "I find it very insensitive and inappropriate. It just shows how demeaning Rachel was to my family on the day that we buried my mom after she died under such horrible circumstances." Her fanbase is now practically non-existent. In fact, a good portion of the internet harbors a deep loathing for the chef. There's so many online forums dedicated to Rachel Ray slander. In fact, there's even a blog called Rachel Ray Sucks, and you can pretty much guess what kind of things people post on there. Number 9, Russell Crowe. The actor has a reputation for being outright mean to both his Hollywood peers and his fans, making him an extremely controversial figure in the industry. I mean, where do we start with Russell Crowe? First of all, there were rumors that he threatened any media platform that published stories about him having a fling with Courtney Love. But another great example is his overall attitude when he intimidated and attacked the producer of the BAFTA Awards for cutting his speech short and preventing him from reciting poetry. In 2005, he was charged with criminal possession of a weapon for allegedly throwing a phone and cutting a hotel clerk's eye, all because he was unable to get connected with his wife. One of the lesser talked about incidents involves him and rapper Azealia Banks. Crowe forcibly removed her from a party that he was hosting. Not only was he said to have been violent, but he allegedly spat on her and used racist language. The Australian actor is also notoriously difficult to work with and is known for regularly shouting at his scriptwriters, yelling at them on phone calls while discussing the story. So it's safe to say that he not only lost a lot of film roles, but a lot of fans due to his outright nastiness. Number 8, Justin Bieber. In September of 2021, there was a shocking video posted on Twitter showing Justin running away from from paparazzi and fully leaving Hailey Bieber while she falls to the ground. In the clip, you can see him get out of the car with his skateboard, then he just takes off without saying anything. At first it looks like he's alone and just doing his own thing, but then 1 second later Hailey appears in frame and she literally falls out of the car and looks flustered at the fact that she got left behind. To make things so much worse, this all happened on a busy street with so many people watching. She then sprints after him, obviously trying to catch up, but the thing is, Justin is already way out of sight. The whole incident must have been incredibly embarrassing for her, and that's exactly what the comments said. Someone wrote, "I know this keeps her awake every night, and that's why you shouldn't chase men." However, some fans were also very sympathetic to her situation, considering that a lot of people could relate to having a partner that just doesn't care about them. One person wrote, "As much as we may not like her, no female deserves to be treated like this by their husband. She deserves better regardless." Number 7. Chrissy Teigen. The 35-year-old cookbook author faced heavy criticism recently following reports of cyberbullying and extremely arrogant behavior, even for a Hollywood celebrity. So many celebs came forward to accuse Teigen, including Lindsay Lohan, Farrah Abraham, and Project Runway star Michael Costello, who all said that she was extremely cruel online. It was so bad, in fact, that she had to apologize for telling reality star Courtney Stodden to take her own life in 2011, and she only backpedaled on her comments when she was called out for them. When speaking about the incident, Teigen admitted that she was being, quote, "an insecure, attention-seeking troll," but it later came out that she was also bullying little children, especially when talking about a 9-year-old in 2013. She tweeted, "Is it okay to call a small child cocky?" Not only that, but a clip of the model went viral when she hosted the Billboard Music Awards in May of 2015. She was making her way up to the stage when a woman tripped over her own gown and fell, but instead of stopping to help her up or even check to see if she's okay, Chrissy just kept strutting her stuff. So if anything, there's no doubt that she's definitely a mean celebrity. Number 6. Jay-Z. The rapper's arrogance was at an all-time high in 2013 when he was heavily criticized by social activist Harry Belafonte for what he believes is a lack of social responsibility, basically saying that he wasn't doing enough for the community. Jay-Z then responded in the worst way possible. He said, "I'm offended by that because first of all, and this is going to sound arrogant, but my presence is charity, just who I am, just like Obama's is." He went on to say that Obama provides hope whether he does anything or not, and the hope that he provides for a nation outside of America is enough. So basically he's saying that he does the same thing just by being famous. Not only that, but in 2012 Jay-Z dissed Robert De Niro, who was apparently a big fan of his music. The actor reportedly called Jay-Z 6 times to work with him and received a grand total of 0 calls back. De Niro then verbally confronted Jay-Z about the situation and said that it doesn't matter who you are, if someone calls you 6 times, you call them back, because that is just rude. Number 5. Azealia Banks. The rapper has a laundry list of celebrity beef, but for whatever reason, she chose to come after Doja Cat in the worst way possible. Azealia went on a huge rant on her Instagram story last year, insulting both her looks and her music. She wrote, "Doja makes music for 10-year-olds and is very derivative. Cute girl, but her attempts at witty East Coast Roman reloaded flows are pitiful and not in the least amusing. And yes, she looked terrible before she lost weight." She went on to say that Doja has horrible bars and none of them make any sense. According to Banks, she adds nothing to the music world and needs to step up her pen game. Banks took the insult way too far when she was watching Doja's music video for Juicy. She wrote, "This bee is disgusting," and said her face looks drunk, tired, and lazy. The rapper also criticized photos from her Interview magazine cover shoot, saying that she deserved better and that there was a disgusting fridge in the background. Doja retweeted Azalea's comments, and in classic Doja fashion, she responded by saying, "I'm farting in a big way." Her clapbacks are so random but strangely effective. Number 4. Jennifer Lopez. So this one is pretty indefensible. Jennifer Lopez allegedly got a German hotel maid fired for asking for an autograph. Prey Dodaj was a staff member at the luxury Melia Hotel in Dusseldorf, Germany during Jennifer's stay in 2012. She was a really big fan of JLo and had worked up the courage to knock on her hotel room door to ask for an autograph before she was promptly turned away. Prey later claimed that she was relieved from her post the day after the incident. She told The Sun, quote, "I am an incredibly big fan, so I took all my courage and rang the bell to get an autograph, but I was rejected by 2 assistants at the door. A day later, the cleaning company that employed me at the hotel called and said that Ms. Lopez had complained. I was fired right there on the phone." If this incident really happened, it's hard to ignore the irony when you remember that Jennifer played a hotel maid in the movie Made in Manhattan. After receiving a rightful amount of backlash, the pop star wrote on Twitter, "Come on, thought you knew me better than this. Would never get anyone fired over an autograph. First I heard of this was on Twitter, #hurtful. Number 3. Tobey Maguire. The actor started working in Hollywood when he was just a teenager, appearing in small roles in films and on television. But as he became more and more successful, he also started to develop a reputation of being difficult to work with. On top of that, there was also the infamous hidden movie. Back in the 90s, Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire made a movie with their friends, then for decades they tried to keep it from seeing the light of day. The movie is called Don's Plum, and it tells the story of a group of 20-something guys who gather every Saturday night at an LA diner, and each time they bring a new girl. The storyline is rampant with misogyny and graphic violence against women. The trouble is that the dialogue is entirely improvised, which makes it seem like the vulgarity we hear in the movie is something that the actors regularly say. This is why Leo and Toby turned their backs on the project when it was completed, because they were concerned about how they were being portrayed. Both of them fought to keep the film from ever being screened, which eventually resulted in a $10 million lawsuit and the film being banned in the country. Number 2, Alec Baldwin. The actor has a notoriously short temper, and there have been several instances where he's taken it out on random people. In 2011, Alec was forcibly removed from an American Airlines flight for unruly behavior. The story goes that the flight attendant allegedly asked him to turn off his phone and he refused. Then, being rude, he took his phone into the lavatory and slammed the door. For his part, he claimed that he was playing words with friends and that he was singled out just because of who he was. Oh, and he also complained that flying had become a Greyhound bus experience. The actor then attacked the company and tweeted, "Flight attendant on American reamed me out for playing words with friends while we sat at the gate not moving. Hashtag no wonder American Air is bankrupt." American Airlines then called him out on their Facebook page, saying the passenger was extremely rude to the crew, calling them inappropriate names and using offensive language. Alec then wrote a column apologizing to the fellow passengers who were delayed by the incident, but he did not take any responsibility and blamed the flight attendant, who he said singled him out to put his phone away, while other passengers continued to use theirs. But if anything, he was clearly upset that he didn't get any special treatment. And coming in at number 1, Christian Bale. The actor has had some seriously impressive roles in the past, but his reputation was put to the test during one infamous on-set meltdown. While he was filming Terminator Salvation, he had an angry outburst that left many of his co-workers stunned. The film's director of photography walked into Christian's eyeline on a day of shooting, and he totally went off, screaming and cursing at him. He has since apologized for his rant, calling it inexcusable and saying that he acted like a punk. In a lengthy apology, he admitted the week following the incident had been miserable for him. Christian said, "I was out of order beyond belief. I made no excuses for it. There is nobody who has heard the tape who has been hit harder than me. The one thing that disturbs me so much is that I've heard a lot of people saying that I seem to think that I'm better than everyone else." He insisted that nothing could be further from the truth, and said that he is a lucky man, which is why he puts so much into what he does. More than anything, Christian was worried that audiences would boycott the movie because of his actions. He said, "Please don't allow my incredibly embarrassing meltdown to overshadow this movie and to have all those people's hard work go to waste."